Hey everybody, this is Izzy here coming to you live from my bedroom regarding the review for Captain Marvel. I know that I have more or less fell behind on a lot of previous film reviews that I've been meaning to do for my YouTube channel, and due to unforeseen circumstances that transpired at that moment, I just literally fell behind. It didn't really, I had to make sure that things were back to normal before I decided to jump right back into this channel again. But thank you in advance, and I apologize for the delay. I'm here today reviewing Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, as many people know, is the 21st Marvel Cinematic Universe film and is the last film before Avengers Endgame that comes out April 26th. Captain Marvel, I must admit, I was not a huge fan growing up. I never read much of the character in terms of the comics. I knew a little bit about the character. I remember playing, using her character during Marvel Ultimate Alliance. But other than that, I'm not well versed within the particular universe that Captain Marvel is manifesting herself from. I do have some familiarity in terms of her being a Kree, and in terms of Marvel exploring more of the cosmics before we get to Avengers Endgame. I have to say, Captain Marvel, I'm going to say this. I have seen the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and her name is Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. This was by far one of the best Marvel films I have seen in years. And I know there's been a lot of mixed reception in terms of what Brie Larson said, and that tended to start some controversy, but I'm not going to really go into details about that because to me that's really not that important. It's a moot point. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the review. It's going to be spoiler free, so you don't have to worry about any kind of vivid details in terms of this review. I have to say, this was one of the better Marvel films. If I had to rank it, I would say that it's up there with the first Iron Man. Now, with that said, in terms of the mixed reviews that it's receiving, I will say this. I can understand why that there may be some people who might not be a fan of this particular film, because this film follows the standard Marvel formula, but at the same time, it's completely different. It's much more character oriented. I will say that much. It's not balls to the wall, full-blown action for 2 hours and 20 minutes. It is us getting to know Carol Danvers. It's us getting to know a younger Nick Fury. It's us getting introduced to the Skrulls, which was amazing, I have to say. And it was just a really well-made, well-planned out, and a great story. It does, I will admit, there is going to be a point where it does drag quite a bit, actually. It goes much deeper than what you'd expect as far as the Marvel Cinematic Universe film is concerned. You know, we're used to the glorious visuals, we're used to the constant action, we're used to everything that we've grown accustomed to with the Marvel Cinematic Universe film. But this is the type of film where she starts out, it's an origin story, but at the same time it's not. She starts off as Captain Marvel still, and this is a journey getting to know her piecing her memories together, and her coming to terms with her powers. And I have to say, Brie Larson, I know there was a lot of complaints about her acting range, especially in the trailers, but she is Captain Marvel. I mean, by far. I don't think you're ever going to find a better Captain Marvel than this. She is picture perfect. Her acting was amazing, and she really encompassed the character that I felt that was absolutely necessary for her to convey it so the audience can feel what she is all about. Ben Mendelsohn is amazing as the lead Skrull. Words cannot describe how amazing he was in that role. Plus, it was also really cool just to see the Skrulls in general. You know, originally the Skrulls were supposed to be in the first Avengers, but at the time they didn't have the rights for them, so they decided to go with the Chitauri. But seeing the Skrulls introduced within the Marvel Cinematic Universe was a dream come true for me. I've always enjoyed the stories of the Skrulls. I enjoyed their interaction with the Fantastic Four and the Namor, and how they're one of the coolest villains that I've ever read in a comic book. And they do something different with the Skrulls in this particular film, but it was very refreshing, I have to say. It was very unique what they did with them. I have to say, seeing Samuel L. Jackson as a much younger Nick Fury was absolutely brilliant. We're not used to seeing a completely out of his element Nick Fury. We're used to seeing the Nick Fury who's abrasive, he's ready to go, he's battle ready. This is a Nick Fury who is out of his element. He is new to the game. He hasn't had much battle experience at all, and it's very refreshing seeing him and Captain Marvel almost, and it really is almost like a buddy cop film to a degree. The chemistry that he has with Brie Larson was very funny, actually. The cat Goose, as most people know, I have a cat myself, and the cat Moose is one of the show stealers of the film. It was brilliant seeing how they utilized the cat character. It was cool. I really enjoyed Captain Marvel. I will say this though, most people who are familiar with the Marvel Cinematic Universe films, be sure to stay during the credits, because the first scene during the credits actually paves the way for Avengers Endgame. And it's very important, I think, that you need to watch this film in order to understand what's going on, all the different Easter eggs, and seeing as Captain Marvel takes place in the 90s, it's very cool seeing all the little nostalgia factors in terms of the music, the fashion, the technology that was readily available at the time, involving the internet, Blockbuster Video, the music of Nirvana, Hole, Lita Ford. And also the visuals for Captain Marvel was just stupendous. One thing Marvel has done when it comes to exploring the cosmos of their universe is how they utilize every different colors and bringing it to life, bringing the space aspect to life. And it was almost as if it was comic book coming to life. I will say this though, another thing about the film that I really enjoyed. When I was sitting there watching it tonight, there is a scene that really just brought goosebumps. I remember I was sitting there, and I'm not going to go into detail. This is not going to be a spoiler, but you'll know it when you see it. I was sitting there tonight, and I'm really just completely drawn into the story. And when the scene happens, I'm sitting there and I have this huge smile on my face, and the goosebumps are on my arms. I can feel the goosebumps, and I must admit, I shed a tear. It was really just beautiful how they just managed to incorporate and bring to life this story all over again. It's just one of the greatest Marvel Cinematic Universe films. I rank it up there for me personally. I rank it up there with the first Iron Man and the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Captain America Winter Soldier is still the greatest Marvel Cinematic Universe film ever made. I don't think you're going to see anything that's going to top that, at least until Endgame comes out, providing that what the reviews or the early test screens are saying is true. But Captain Marvel I think it's going to be the type of film that's going to be very popular as far as word of mouth is concerned. Once people hear it's not as bad as a lot of critics are trashing it to be, it's not as preachy, because that's another thing that was a lot of people were complaining about, is that to them it came off as preachy. It was more about being pro-feminist, and just Brie Larson was one note. It's not preachy. It's not promoting any type of political agenda. It's not trying to force a message to you. It's a film that is about a character who is unsure of her existence within the world, and her trying to piece together her memories. And once she grows into that role, that's when you see her become one of the most powerful beings in the universe. And that's what it's all about. It's a standard Marvel film, but at the same time it's not. Don't go in expecting, as I said, don't go in expecting this 2-hour action fest extravaganza. You're going to be sitting there, and there's going to be some parts where it's going to drag. You're going to have to really pay attention to the dialogue. You have to pay attention to the atmosphere. You really just have to sit there and deal with it and come to terms with you getting to know the characters that are part of the story. But once again, I have seen the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and her name is Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. You need to go see it. It's a 5 out of 5. I will say this as well. Stay for the end credit scene. And most people should know that you do not get up during the credits of a Marvel film. Stay during at least stay during the first credit scene. At least stay for that. The second scene, as most people tend to understand, that a lot of those second post-credit scenes is more of a amusing, humorous type to kind of provide levity for the audience. It's cute, but it's not really necessary for you to have to stay for that one in particular. But yes, stay for the first credit scene. You will not be disappointed. It will pump you up. Captain Marvel 2019, a 5 out of 5 from your Sumter Film Critic here, and I will provide you with my next review for Us that comes out on March 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm hoping to once again get into the groove of things. And I thank you for your patience, and you will be hearing from me soon. Go see Captain Marvel. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's what you'd expect from Marvel, and you will not be disappointed, I promise you. 5 out of 5. This is Izzy here, and I will see you again, my friends. Take care.